If we look at history, human society have frequently turned to the power of plants for healing purposes. And one traditional medicine in particular seems to be more popular than ever: essential oils. There is renewed interest in using essential oils to improve physical or psychological well-being. And the surge in interest has transformed these little vials of plant essence into a billion-dollar industry. Hello, science fans! My name is Chona, and I'm a resident Filipino scientist. Join us in this episode where we take in the science behind essential oils. So, what is in your essential oils? Essential oils are highly concentrated extracts of plant material, be it seeds, leaves, flowers, stem, or bark. But it can often be tough for consumers to know what's really in an essential oil vial. The market, you see, isn't regulated. What? So there tends to be a lot of variation across essential oils, even those that come from the same brand. The components of essential oils will vary from batch to batch, as they are drawn from plants that vary from different environments. This is because the different substances inside the plant are absorbed from unique conditions of the environment or are created as a unique response to different environmental triggers. So even parts of the same plant that were harvested in the morning versus the evening would have different characteristics. Of course, the major components will mostly be there, but their concentrations would vary. Now, an important thing to keep in mind is that essential oils have not been put through rigorous FDA testing and approval. And that's one of the things that separates them from the over-the-counter drugs from your neighborhood pharmacy. And please take note, if these tried and tested over-the-counter drugs or medication still have some side effects. Well, can you imagine how much more for something that has yet to be fully studied and tested? Given all that, how should essential oils be used? Well, most essential oils are inhaled via diffusion or applied topically after being mixed with the carrier oil. When essential oils are inhaled via aromatherapy, compounds are absorbed through receptors in our noses. These receptors send messages to our olfactory system, the part of our brain that's responsible for our sense of smell. Eventually, these messages reach other areas of the brain, such as the limbic system, which plays a role in our emotions. And it is these messages, triggered by the components of the oil, that can affect our mood and well-being. On the other hand, when essential oils are applied topically to treat aches and pains, the compounds are absorbed by our skin. They will eventually enter the bloodstream before they are metabolized by our livers. But scientists have had a tough time figuring out what various essential oils really do. Since there are no accepted standards for essential oils, we find it hard to replicate or validate existing data. And this has led to human studies on essential oils becoming few and far between. And of the research done on humans, many studies involve only a small number of participants, which can then be skewed, biased, or not applicable to a wider audience.
No, God!
And the results from these limited scientific studies can even be misinterpreted or blown out of proportion.
No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Because you see, trends found in vitro or in small-scale studies would not necessarily apply to whole organisms, or even different species, or even different individuals. Because we have to remember that a mere association between two things isn't enough to prove a direct cause and effect relationship. So, even if a study found a small group of people who smelled lavender aroma felt less anxious, well, something else might be responsible for that effect. A lot of the information about the benefits of essential oil tends to be anecdotal and rely on the belief that natural things are more beneficial. But this is not necessarily true. It is important for us to remember That being organic or natural doesn't necessarily mean that it is safe or beneficial. Plant compounds, especially in high concentrations as those found in essential oils, can end up being toxic, irritating, or cause allergic reactions that can end up being fatal. Of course, this doesn't mean that essential oils are totally worthless. Scientists agree that their effects are small but real, and so they can be considered as self-care enhancers, but not really treatments or cures. And so, science has spoken. Essential oils are highly concentrated extracts from plants that are not tightly regulated and thus have varying components. This has made them difficult to study scientifically because of the inconsistencies in results. But their positive effects are real, even though they're a little small, especially from essential oils such as rosemary, sage, lavender, or peppermint. So, I hope we don't expect essential oils to be magical treatments or cures for all of our diseases. They have not gone through the rigorous testing procedure of the FDA, and so they are a far cry from being medicine, and they are not considered alternatives to standard medical care. But what do you think? Is there a better way for us to standardize and study essential oils? Have you actually used essential oils and has it helped you? Please let us know in the comments section below. And to get a daily dose of science goodness, please follow SHE-ensya on Facebook and on Instagram. Drop by our website also at www.sheensya.com. Thank you very much for joining us in our essential episode for today, and I hope to see you around!